We sailed from Gibraltar to Sicily in summer 2020. Join us to see some of those highlights.
Bags are packed, are you ready to go? This time tomorrow we'll be on
We are
the
Steve and
road.
Annette, a semi-retired couple who sold up everything to fulfill our dream of sailing the world, or as far as we can get. We spent 10 years planning to start our dream. In the end, you only ever regret the chances you didn't take. This last year has been a year none of us will ever forget. The COVID-19 pandemic has dominated most of our lives since March 2019. We've all been affected in one way or another. We've been fortunate though, although we've not been able to get back to see our family in the UK, we have been able to continue our journey in Cordelia, sailing into the Med. What this last year has shown us is that life is only lived once. We need to experience as much as we can whilst we can, learn from it, enjoy it, treasure it and share it. There's a fair bit of sailing in this video because that's what our life is all about. It's the best of what we do, and believe it or not, we love doing it and can't do enough of it. In 2020 we sailed the coast of Spain, through the Balearic Islands, over to Sardinia, up to the Aeolian Islands, down to Sicily, to our final 2020 winter berth in Ragusa. In this episode we take you on a 20-minute passage from La Linea near Gibraltar to Ragusa in Sicily. We were fortunate to see so much in this very strange year and loved sharing it with you all. We left La Linea next door to Gibraltar on the 1st of June 2020 with a loose plan of sailing the southern coast of Spain towards the Balearics so as we would be there for the summer months to meet our family. Our stops along the southern coast varied from overnighters to week-long stays. The whole coast suffers from swell, and unless you can find an anchorage tucked around a headland, nights can be extremely uncomfortable and rolly. We made 7 stops along this coast and each one had its own individual beauty. La Zoya was our favourite, and it was here that we first swam in the crystal clear waters in amongst the fish. Whoa, look how blue it is.
Oh, through there?
Yeah. So we've arrived at Playa de los Genoveses and it's a lovely anchorage. Beautiful anchorage. So you come round and we're just outside Marmanor. We need to anchor around where those boats are over there because of the wind. Our leap-off point from mainland Spain was Cabo de Palos, a small anchorage just outside the Mar Menor. We were heading for Formentera, the first of the Balearic Islands that we were visiting. We got the mainsail and the mizzen up, but it's not really doing anything. Formentera was idyllic. The scenery was stunning and the waters were so warm. This was our real first taste of the Mediterranean. That rock up there. Oh, it's gone now. I lost count of the amount of sunrises and sunsets that we had that looked just like this. We were excited to get to Ibiza. We'd never been before, either by air or by sea. It was strange though. COVID had taken its toll on all of the restaurants and the local shops. It was very, very quiet, but the anchorages were still busy. There were plenty of people out sailing. And for those of you that know, Mambo's is just down around the corner, and it's dead, and it's not open. If they're sleeping, everybody's sleeping. It's very, very quiet here.
We're parked outside San Antonio and we've now got a monster flying fish. Wow, look at that! That's flown straight in.
I'm going to put him straight in. This poor thing, he will survive.
Ibiza behind us, and just about see Majorca.
We loved Majorca. Of all of the Balearic Islands, it has so much to offer, so many beaches and anchorages, beautiful, beautiful spots along the coast. And although we've been to Majorca several times on holiday, we've never actually sailed around the island. One issue that we did have that started to happen in Majorca was when we were anchoring in an area where there was a beach. We found it really difficult to try and take our dinghy ashore. And obviously you've got to do this if you want to go to a laundrette or you need to provision. On more than one occasion we were told we couldn't even take the dinghy ashore, not even in the area where the green and red buoys were.
That would be perfect.
We had a few highlights throughout the summer, but one of our biggest highlights was when our son and daughter-in-law and 2 granddaughters came out to visit us in Majorca for a week. It was absolutely brilliant.
That's right, she does go swimming, doesn't she?
She does swimming in this.
Mermaids live in the water, don't they?
Yeah.
Under the water with the fish.
Yeah. But they don't want to fall over.
Are they sitting on there?
I have no idea.
Grandpa's being disgusting again.
Is he?
Yeah. He said he gets toe jam, ew, and he grows potatoes in between his toes.
Come on then, clever girl. You're a brave one, aren't you, hey? Oh.
Cool dude! Brave dude, actually.
Pull my foot, Nanny. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Life's not a complete bed of roses though. At some point during early July we realised that we were going to need to get some new batteries. And we're not just talking about house bank batteries now, we're talking about a full set that included both the starter motor and the windlass batteries. We managed to get these ordered, but the only way that I can describe it is if you were having central heating put in at home and somebody said to you that you had to take home the boiler plus all of the radiators on a bus. That's how we had to get these batteries, drop off and pick up. I know there will be some of you that are interested in the battery install, so we've done a separate video on this which will be available soon in a couple of weeks. We'll let you all know. We left Majorca and headed for Menorca and spent a few brief days there, just provisioning up and getting ready for our sail across to Sardinia. Our time in Sardinia was marred slightly by the fact that we weren't allowed off the boat, waiting for a COVID test, and then after the COVID test happened, we had to wait until we were given the all clear to get off the boat. It was almost the end of September, so we decided to head straight for Sicily. Upon reaching Sicily, we were hit, well actually T-boned by another cat, which didn't really give us a particularly good start of our experience. But then we went to visit the Aeolian Islands, and boy, if we could have stayed there for the rest of winter we would have. It was stunning, and certainly one of the biggest highlights of our whole summer. Our final days on the water for 2020 were spent going through the Messina Straits on the eastern side of Sicily, down past Syracuse and into Ragusa, where we were going to spend the next 6 months on our winter berth. We have been fortunate. We've got nothing to complain about. 2020 has been an absolutely brilliant year for us sailing wise. We left La Linea in Spain, right next door to Gibraltar, and managed to do the southern coast of Spain, through the Balearics, over to Sardinia, over to Sicily, around part of Sicily, up to the Aeolian Islands, and then round to Ragusa. We have had a fantastic summer. We anchored in 46 different anchorages and travelled 1,573 miles. Now we're just looking forward to 2021. We hope you've enjoyed this episode, and don't forget it's free to subscribe and like. See you in a couple of weeks. Look after yourselves. Bye.